information you didn't know you needed to know.
Exactly. Well, you nailed it when you said it's cold and flu season, and I feel like I'm always
Oh, yeah.
taking temperatures constantly, so at least we know what it should be.
Yeah, and if we're talking temperatures, I mean, why don't we check the temperatures outside? Because I feel like we have a very reliable source for that, Betsy.
Well, the outside temperature is one thing. I'm wondering if the change, even that little change between what our average temperature is a fever still 100.4, right? Or is it 99?
Yeah, that's a very good,
Like,
question.
what's a fever now if the average temperature of the body has changed?
I'm thinking that's a verify number 2. Should we
Let's
put it to the
follow up.
team?
Parents everywhere want to know.
So true, Bets.
This is the decision maker between calling them in sick and keeping them home, right? It's, do they actually have a fever or not? So talk to your pediatricians, always do that. All right, here's a look at outside right now. We are looking east, actually northeast on the Innerbelt Bridge. So the Innerbelt Bridge goes this way. This is headed down into the Innerbelt and then eventually down Dead Man's Curve. And you can see we do have some clear skies out there. We had sunshine on this not too long ago. There's just been a few clouds passing through. Current temperature is 45 in downtown Cleveland, and we have smooth sailing as far as the weather goes throughout the rest of the evening. So all green across the board. Lots of green showing up on the area roadways too. That means that we are running at perfect speeds for the most part. Of course, there are some trouble spots, the usuals. Dead Man's Curve, 480, the Valley View Bridge area, then 77 south as you get toward 271. Those usual places where we start to see things stack up just because of volume, but there are no major accidents to tell you about on the main arteries right now. We do have a few clouds that have been passing throughout the day, and all of this is really just more decorative than anything else. No harbingers of, or omens of bad weather that is anytime soon to come. That is all leftover actually from the storm system that brought us the colder air that we've been dealing with for the past couple of days. West of us, they have lots of clear skies. That is what we have coming our way for tonight and then for most of the day tomorrow. And then you get into the Central Plains and you kind of get the view down to the south too. And that's where things get a little cloudier. And that just so happens to also be where our next weather makers, plural, will be coming together. You can see we have one storm system sitting here in the Plain States, and then you see all this rain that is just south of Texas. That is a second piece of energy. That one actually has a lot more going for it. You can see all the clouds that are coming across Mexico, through the Gulf of Mexico, over the peninsula of Florida, and straight out into the Atlantic. That is like a pipeline of energy and moisture in the upper part of the atmosphere. That's going to grab a hold of all the moisture that is going on, that's evaporating out of the Gulf of Mexico, and fire up a storm system farther south. At the same time, our little storm system up here to the north is trying to live its best life and move to the east. So what does this mean? Well, let's take a look at how this impacts our weekend forecast. Here's a storm system sitting in the Plain States. There's all that rain that's just south of Texas. And watch how everything starts to come together here in the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll see a developing storm system in the Gulf. This is not tropical as of right now, but it definitely is going to start to strengthen and intensify as it heads up into the Big Bend of Florida, eventually up into Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston with some wind at the same time that this plains system is just not really doing a whole lot. So the focus is really on the southern system. So much so, and this is part and parcel with kind of the way things go this time of the year. When we have these storm systems that come out of the southeast, a lot of times they will intensify and they take over. So that will absorb the plains system as the storm system now on the East Coast continues to intensify as it moves up through the Carolinas. Notice we have rain. This is 7 p.m. on Sunday. We've got rain that's been hanging around through the day. So as of right now, I would say plan on rain for the Browns game. Then as that storm system continues to move northeast, it's going to tighten up. It's going to strengthen. When that happens, the wind cranks up. And so expect windy conditions on Monday, cooler air that will be filtering in. And by Monday night, we are talking about a rain-snow mix taking over and maybe even just snow by the time we hit into Monday morning. So certainly a lot of changes on the way, and it's all dependent upon how that storm system evolves and tracks. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. In the meantime, it's mostly clear for the night. Temperatures drop back into the low 30s, and the southwesterly winds will help us through the day tomorrow, too. In your National Design Mart on the hour forecast, we're aiming our highs into the low 50s. This is more than 10 degrees above average tomorrow. So our sunshine lovers and heat lovers are going to be very happy. We'll stay in the low 50s then as we get into the weekend, Saturday with a high of 52. Rain developing on Sunday, as mentioned in your Union Home Mortgage forecast. Then the cooler air begins to wrap in. I think that 42 will be early in the day on Monday. Temperatures sliding late. That's where the snow starts to kick into gear. The good news is we clear out very slowly on Tuesday, and we're looking at pretty pleasant conditions for the day on Wednesday. Isabel?
Wow, if you looked at this graphic in isolation without the context, you would not know this was December in Ohio.
You would if you look way over here.
Yeah.
Winter.
Winter, yeah. We didn't talk about that part. We'll just
It's fine.
focus on the positive.
We can gloss over that, Bets. All right.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, coming up.